Hi, my name is Pat Adams, a spiritual director and blogger about the spiritual life. The consuming interest of my life has been this: how do we live a life centered in God? And yet deeper still, who am I really? What is my purpose? How do I connect deeply with God? These are the questions I will address in this video series. Are you being called to a deeper, truer life? Are you drawn to the Spirit but have trouble with religion? Are you feeling a call for more depth within yourself, more than your church is offering, more than you even know about? Are you interested in knowing God and letting God tell you who He is? What are you longing for? These calls are whispered in us, hinted at, and merely suggested. It's as if they are ephemeral, easily vaporized, and they are for the moment, but they will return again and again throughout your lifetime until you answer the call. Don't you think it's interesting that God doesn't bang us over the head, wrestle us to the ground, lock us up until we fulfill our created purpose? No, He whispers beneath the clutter of our lives. He hints, He softly calls. It has to be our choice. What are you doing about that call? It is an invitation into the unknown, in many ways the unknowable, beneath the surface, beyond the ways we are taught to think. It is an invitation. Will you accept the invitation? Answer the call? Your answer to the call begins a journey that will take you into the wholeness of who you are, into your gifts and talents, and yes, even the challenges of your creation, into the purpose of your life, into the heart of God. Are you ready to take the first step beyond where you are now? For the journey never ends, at least in this lifetime. There is always a call to go deeper, truer, more whole from where we are right now. And as T.S. Eliot wrote in the Four Quartets, we shall not cease from exploration, and the end of all our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time. And what is this place that we shall know for the first time? It is ourselves and the context, the true context of our lives. We all have the potential within us to make this journey if we will answer the call. Even at the end of life, we are not to cease journeying with the Spirit. Even old age is not a reason to stop, because the landscape of old age is one of the more interesting to discover. So answer the call. Give in to the yearning. Be willing. Get ready. And answer the call. Yes. If you do, life becomes an adventure of living without knowing the next step or the next and next. It's an adventure to not know what is going to be asked of you today or tomorrow. It's an adventure in finding out who you really are, not who you were conditioned to be. The first step is to surrender to the call, to the Holy Spirit, to God, to life itself, however you think of what is calling you. As you continue under the direction of the Holy Spirit, there will be thousands of surrenders you'll need to make daily surrenders of your desires of the moment, of your assumptions, preferences, all the cultural responses you learn that overlay the true self. With experience, you will be able to recognize the still, small voice within. It always is self-affirming. It always leads you into situations with the good of everyone in hand. Experience is the teacher of a broader world, of God Himself, of how the Trinity works in your life, in the movement of the Holy Spirit in your life and in the world. We use the Bible as a check on what we're learning and experiencing, Is it consistent with the teachings? Is it self-affirming? Is it true to my own creation? It is a self-affirming journey, altering how you feel about yourself, learning to embrace all that you are, since God created you as you are and knows all that you do and think and feel. He sees your struggles and challenges and welcomes the whole of you when you turn back towards Him. You will be led through an individualized curriculum that will at each step put the lesson before you that you need to learn. God knows us so well that He knows exactly what we need at any point in time. So learn to embrace what is before you, thinking, what am I to learn or incorporate from the lesson before me? You can slow down this process, turn your back on it, at least at the beginning. But as you see its positive effect in your life, you will be more and more willing to go along with it. You'll see the difference pretty quickly between the small self that is at home in our culture and the larger self that lies deeper within us. The small self or ego objects to everything that it doesn't want, that doesn't call attention to itself, that doesn't conform to how it thinks. The small self falls easily into addictions to meet its needs. And I'm not speaking so much of drugs and alcohol addictions, as much as the benign ones, like burying your face in a book to shut out others who want to engage with you, or shopping to fulfill needs of looking good and accumulating more and more stuff, or playing endless games on the internet and more. These are all ways to hide from God and others in our lives. The larger self is able to see more like God sees, to embrace all of creation, to see Christ's image in all people, to love what is before Him, to engage with whatever is in front of her, to embrace the paradoxes. And in the Spirit's hands, the shy soul, which has waited all your life for a listening ear from you, begins to emerge, to softly advance its agenda for your life, to bring you into an inner alignment with God and the larger self and life itself. I'm talking about freedom here, not the freedom to worship as you please or to cast your vote or to own a gun or pursue a career or to marry whomever you want. I'm talking about the absolute freedom of living as you were created to live, using the talents and gifts given to you at birth, as well as incorporating the lessons that the challenges throughout your life have brought you. It's the freedom to let go of all that is not yours. There will no longer be any reason to do other than what you were created to do. You, in partnership with the Spirit, are the authority on how to live your life. You will rest in God's arms and in your own authority. And in being who you were created to be, you will discover your purpose. And in discovering the joy and peace and patience that goes along with discovering your purpose, you will find that you are meant to fulfill it, to do what you were created to do with love. And that each one of our purposes, if lived and realized, will bring in the kingdom here on earth, so that the kingdom is real and visible and authentic and inclusive and embracing of every other person. The kingdom is no longer a potential for us to discover, but a reality that we help usher in. The kingdom is our true home, one where each person is welcome just for being who he is, where each of her gifts are honored and needed to keep the kingdom alive. It is not a perfect place, but the place where very human and somewhat divine people live in a boisterous, noisy harmony. The kingdom is Christ's mind, His territory, along with His followers, who now have the fruit of the Spirit incorporated into their being. The kingdom epitomizes the welcome mat laid out for all who enter, and even those who don't enter would always be welcome. It's the place where love reigns, where the fruit of the Spirit is the currency of commerce, love, joy, peace, patience, goodness, kindness, gentleness, faithfulness, and self-control. In fact, these are inseparable, for how can you have love without kindness and self-control, or peace without gentleness and joy, or patience without love or self-control? Bringing in the kingdom is God's goal for his most complex creature. We can sit and wait for the second coming, or for God and Christ and the Spirit to make it happen. But the reality is, it is our job to so live in the realm of the Trinity, in the flow of love from them and through them and in them, that we can do no less than share the love that comes to us with everyone we meet. We will express the presence of God in our lives. We will be the kingdom. Our lives will shine out the fruit of the Spirit. Our lives will stand for something beyond ourselves. Our lives will speak volumes about the depth of the relationship that we have with God. Mostly they will speak of God. They will speak of the peace that passes all understanding, the love that created this wondrous system of life, the joy that comes from being your own natural self, the patience that you hold out for every other human being as an invitation for them to come to the kingdom too. Our lives will speak volumes about goodness and kindness and gentleness and faithfulness and self-control, not in rigidity, but self-control because all your needs are met in the kingdom. Wouldn't you like to be a part of ushering in the kingdom on earth? With God's help and guidance, we might be the 1,000 people who can love. What effect do you think that would have on the world's populations? We might be 10,000 people gathered who could love, and wouldn't we be a sight for sore eyes? And maybe eventually 100,000. Might that not be a powerful movement standing as the Spirit of God in a world hungry for love and meaning and integrity and purpose? Will you join me, and I am sure lots of others, in making the kingdom clear and visible on this earth? There's no limit on what we could do with God's help. Thank you for watching. I look forward to hearing from you soon.